Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Warm welcome to our webinar on the Jaspersoft End of Life and on the Survivor Kit webinar that helps you to basically switch from current Jaspersoft reporting into a new world. So my name is Tamás Székely. I have worked with Clarity and project portfolio management for 11 years. At the consulting firm Tricise, I am responsible for the Clarity consulting team and our services. And as you might know, Tricise is a strategic partner of Broadcom Software. You may have seen the official announcements from Broadcom already. The Jaspersoft reporting engine is leaving Clarity and actually quite soon. That is exactly what today is about. I take this topic off your worry list and you leave with a clear plan, hopefully today. The plan for today's workshop will be, at the beginning, we discuss about what changes and when. SaaS and on-premise separately, because they are not really the same. Then our simple framework to place each report correctly. What do we do with that? And after that, the recommended 3 target paths with a short live demo. We will touch and we will see how you are able to work with us and how that will look like. The last minutes, of course, are yours for all your questions. But in the meantime, I will also try to keep my eyes also on the question list in the chat. So please drop them into the chat anytime when you have any questions. Let me just quickly check if the audio is good. All right. So let's go to the next one. Let's start what's coming. So this slide is basically the whole webinar in one page. So if it's the one that you would like to forward it to your steering committee or to your team, this would be the only one that you really that actually needs attention. So basically the headline, the Broadcom has announced that the Jaspersoft reporting engine will no longer be supported inside Clarity from this autumn. And the part that matters most for planning, Broadcom is not providing an automatic migration service. There is no single button I can press and magically from all my Jaspersoft reports turn up into the new reporting engine. So every Clarity customer either migrate their own reports now or has a partner to do it for them. And it is simply the reality. You need to plan around it. And it's not really a criticism to Broadcom, but because we are quite optimistic that the new reporting engine is developing really with high speed. So we are optimistic that even it will surpass what are the capabilities of the Jaspersoft reporting right now. But looking at actually what we see on the screen is that actually there is 2 major deadlines in what we have to keep eye on. Flag both of them in your calendar. So for SaaS customers who have in the cloud the Clarity, from the version 16.4.3 is already retiring the embedded Jaspersoft reporting engine. So all reports, all advanced reports needs actually a chosen destination. You will see what are the options in the later slides and my later explanations and demos. And on-premise, we have a little bit softer, but still a real deadline here. Basically, 16.4.3 will still deliver Jaspersoft. So if you decide to upgrade in August to that version, that is actually one of the recommended versions to upgrade to. But the version coming out in November 16.5.0 will not have any technical jobs to have a seamless integration. But important to note that if you have already installed Jaspersoft, or if you even didn't install yet, you can decide if you want to, that you are allowed, basically, the Jaspersoft, if it's installed, it's permanently licensed, but it has to be basically installed before the 30th of September as part of Clarity. Because if you have Clarity still licensed going forward, you are able to use Jaspersoft. Of course, in the announcement of Broadcom, they are telling that the support ability of that Jaspersoft engine, if you have any incidents, issues, will be, of course, quite limited. But in on-premise environments, you are not to say, they will not take it away from you. You are able to use it basically with ongoing beyond the 30th of September as well. But of course, obviously, over time, Jaspersoft will not be, you are not able to upgrade, you are not allowed to upgrade that version beyond what you have already installed before 30th of September. So after a while, your IT security team might require you to patch it, so then you have to make a decision. But the deadline is definitely softer. On the next box is about your plan. So every report that you have sooner for SaaS or later for on-premise needs a destination. We recommend actually 3 migration paths. That might sound obvious, but we will take a look at it in further detail. But the message here would be, but I will later elaborate on that, is that you are able to decide individually for every report what you are going to do. So for example, mainstream path is actually we take the current Jaspersoft report and try to fit it into the new reporting workspace that is already in the tool. Alternative path, maybe your team already is working with other reporting engines such as Power BI, Tableau, or other BI tools. That would be another destination. Or we realize working closely with our customers is that there are sometimes no solution that the current reporting workspace provides or the Power BI or similar BI tools provide. So for those, we recommend some specialized path where we developed with our innovation team together Clarity add-ons, especially for Word export. So if you need any docx files to work with, then we developed an add-on that you are able to deliver and print Word files directly from Clarity. Or if you have any requirements to have a pixel perfect visualization, then we also can offer you a programmatic visualization tool to use after basically migrating your reports. All right, so let's go one by one. Let me check if there's any questions so far. All right. So again, for Clarity SaaS, let's take a deeper look or closer look. So Friday, 11th of September, 2026, end of business. This is the deadline that was given from Broadcom. It's actually about 92 days away, so it's not a lot. And if I calculate around how many working days it means, it's actually only 65. So actually the deadline is basically really close. So what it actually means for SaaS customers, again, in this date, no turning back. Basically, your production system is already going to be upgraded. And basically, you are not able to open up Jaspersoft anymore. Of course, before it will be giving you the options to download what you have and save all your files, because some of our customers also use Jaspersoft repository, not only for reports, but even storing PDF files in it. So you are able to download all these things, but then basically it will be cut off from access. So let's move on. What does it mean for on-premise? Obviously, as mentioned, it's a softer deadline. And basically, what is good to see is that if you install 16.4.3 with the last version, which will be supporting Jaspersoft, you are able, this is actually in support by Broadcom until 2027, so 2 more years, end of November 30th. So actually 1 more year. Let me check the next slide. I think that's about that. And the cutover date is here, 30th of September. This is the deadline. Until then, you are able to permanently install Jaspersoft to your production environment. So even the version will be out in 10th of August. If you consider to upgrade before this date, which is around 111 days away from now. Yeah, this is actually confirming better. I think I made a mistake with the date. So here we have the supportability of the next version of Clarity. 16.4.3 is until November 30th, 2028. Also the current version that is released in May 11th. This is the left side. These are the dates for the on-premise releases. But on the SaaS, the upgrade cadence shows that 19th of August, the non-production environments will be upgraded, and the production environments, obviously, 11th of September. Right. Everything up here was basically focusing on the problem, but from here, let's focus on the decision and the solutions. Let me show you how to make those decisions. So we developed the decision framework, which is not necessarily a decision for all reports, but actually individual reports. So most expensive mistakes we can see across our customers, and we see it often, is choosing one tool, one single tool for entire reporting estate. Oh, we are a Power BI shop, move everything to Power BI. That might sound actually a reasonable decision time to time. Or, okay, just rebuild everything in Clarity and basically leave out some of the more difficult reports out of the game, and sounds decisive. But basically, they might be wrong. We can evaluate actually the reports not as a whole, but actually one by one as well. For example, a portfolio dashboard, project charter, which exported as Word documents, or an executed PowerPoint reports, each have totally complex, completely different gravity, completely different audience, completely different reasons to deploy in many different aspects. So let's go through the decision framework, which you can actually also take away from today. And if you already answer the 3 axes you see on the screen, your choice of tooling will be quite obvious. So, for example, first of all, the data gravity. Where does our data really live? Where does my data feel at home? For example, the data can live in Clarity. Of course, we are talking about reports. It can originate from Clarity, but does it really live there? Do I want to have the native security settings in Clarity when I am pulling up a report? So am I allowed to basically report only on my projects and see that? And I want to have from a reporting platform this access right, security, that I am only able to report for my projects or about my single team or to my business units or not. And because Clarity offers these integrated security and access right settings, this might be an obvious choice. If this is the case for security, for data access right settings, obvious choice might be to keep the reports in Clarity. But if it's like a bigger data dump or a bigger portfolio analytics for the entire organization or bigger parts of it, then maybe we can say that, look, actually data is actually not living in Clarity really. It can originate from Clarity, but we usually enrich the data with outside data, and then we actually combine it and present it to our management, for example. The next axis is the audience. What's actually the reason why we need this report? Who is receiving this report? Who's reading it? Do we actually read it? Maybe that single decision, is anybody consuming this report, might already eliminate maybe half of your reports. So operational users, PMOs, or portfolio managers, they might be around 5 to 10 or 20 people, but quite limited amount of people usually. Then the decisions might be quite easy. Okay, if the layout changes, or okay, if I miss 2 or 3 kind of data representations, it's not the end of the world. We can live with these restrictions and we just migrate whatever we can to the new Clarity workspace. The decisions can be made easier and the compromises are also easier. But when we are talking about hundreds of people using the report, they are publishing it of Power BI, they have to sign documents, they want to give the name, sign it, archive it as Word documents, or you have to edit it further. That can basically mean a totally different way of handling the report. So keep this in mind as well. And the layout complexity, of course, we see an incredible speed of development here from Broadcom, because many reports are, if we are talking about drill down options, bubble charts, pie charts, all kind of charts and tables and formatting and how to say this, hierarchical representations, a new feature in the newest version. they're all part of the layered complexity. A lot of them can be already covered with the new reporting workspace, but maybe we have developed some Jaspersoft report that has to follow a certain guideline, a certain fonts. We have even noticed that with some of our customers that when you see on the screen a fixed report, when you export it to PowerPoint, the font is bigger, or it suddenly doesn't fit to the text box. Or I need to redesign the whole layout, optimize it for export. So those kind of smaller things can, of course, be considered as some uncomfortable thing to deal with, or it can even mean some issues. So please consider: can I use the same representation, or should I use another BI tool to, let's say, I need a waterfall chart for my budgets and for my portfolio analytics? Maybe Power BI is the right choice. Reporting workspace maybe provides something similar, but not quite. But if you need any bespoke, then we have also specialized path for that. So after you assess these 3 questions for each report, probably you are already have a good gut feeling about what to do with this report. Do I want to migrate it? Or even we can decide that 0 option means that, okay, I don't do anything with that. Do I migrate to the new Clarity report? Do I migrate to an alternative path, let's say Power BI? Or do I need help? Do I need really not on like Tricise Docs or Visualizer, which is a new innovation from us? I will show it to you soon. Or am I okay to live with some constraints of Power BI or Clarity report? Right, so let's go one by one. So rebuild, one of the options I showed is rebuild a Clarity new reporting framework. This is a standard one. This is actually a quite obvious choice because it provides you upgradability. Broadcom support is supporting you if you find any issues. Every partner of Clarity should know about this and knows about this, how to create new reports, work with those new reporting engine. And of course, it's providing you a native experience within Clarity. You can embed it as a channel from the newest version. And you expect a lot from Broadcom because they're putting real heavy effort to build this further. So that might be a good choice for most of your reports. And actually, what I wanted to just show you here before I show you live how it might look like is that Broadcom is offering you in Europe, let's say, we have probably another hour slot for Americas and other time zones, but also reporting the office hours. That means that please use this time. I have asked some of our customers, do you really take your time and understanding what are your reporting requirements? And of course, the timeline is quite tight. So even if you have some wishes, they might not be able to develop it until end of September or beginning of September. But if that the reasons why you use a feature, they might, if it's important, they might actually add it to the product, the backlog basically of the developments for sooner or later. So I really encourage everybody to go directly to Broadcom. They are really listening to the customers. All right. The other option is the alternative option, Power BI. As I said, so Power BI has a real strength on some intuitively built dashboards, really, that is, the people can interact with the dashboards. And also, when you consider multiple sources of data, this is a platform where you can enrich your data. And since a few versions already, the OData provider, now it's already also possible to have it for on-premise versions, even for Microsoft SQL databases and for Windows servers. A few versions ago, there were issues with those, but now everything is ready really to move to Power BI or similar BI tools using the OData field. OData feed services. I will show you later how to connect to such. And here our approach would be basically we take the if we actually at Tricise we have also Power BI experts who can also rebuild basically your report using Power BI. Of course, the visualization will be rebuilt from scratch, and trying to build from OData feed and using some smart filtering and translations on the data to provide you a similar experience with Power BI what you had with Jaspersoft. And the two tools we created from innovation with our innovation team is the native Word export. So Word export not really possible with Power BI, maybe with some add-ons there, but it will be never feeling native. And also from the new reporting engine, this is a feature that's completely missing right now. The other one is a pixel perfect PowerPoint or live dashboards. If you have a real requirements of it must be pixel perfect, what you have invested in Jaspersoft, we are able to offer you basically another add-on to Clarity, which replicates or can replicate 100% your current visualization requirements and export it to Power BI. But let's show it to you directly. So actually next part is a demo. Let me check quickly if there is any questions in the meantime. So there's a question, if I may read it up loudly. So given that not all elements are yet available in Clarity dataware, like the rate matrix, is it possible for Broadcom to postpone the commissioning of Jaspersoft after 11th of September? The current version doesn't allow us to do equivalent of what we have. Exactly, that's the point. So we also tried it as a partner to give some push, but as Broadcom explained us, the reason behind of the whole story is that Jaspersoft was provided as OEM, and they have had a contract with Jaspersoft, or TIPCO, I think is the provider for that. And this is expiring, so they don't want to renew it. So no, there is no plan to shift it. You will see after the demo, we can offer you that we could take your current Clarity environment on-premise until you finalize your migration, or choose the alternative path. So the date will not change, unfortunately. I hope I could give you an answer for this, but let me know if I didn't give a full answer. Thank you for the question. As a demo, I would like to show you, this is for next points, but let me just show you the innovation first, and then I will show you the Power BI, and going a little bit backwards now. So if you have a requirement to basically export something to Word document, which cannot be done by the new reporting engine, is that what I have opened, this is a Clarity environment. You can see here the many points. This is just an example system with some demo data in it. I have opened my favorite project, the e-commerce portal. You see the properties, and you can see here the different modules. So we have developed here the Tricise docs modules, which actually just a small channel, and where it's pointing at is obviously for some reason we have to still use Clarity for security reasons and check if the user is allowed eventually to report on that project. And here you see one single button, but we could have here a list of buttons, list of different Word exports. So if I want to get a Word export, I just click on the button. In the background, actually, the add-on, which is running in the SaaS, also the Google Cloud Platform beside Clarity, can take the data directly from Clarity and basically do the report. And it means when I open this report, let me just pull it from my other screen. You can see here that this is a Word export. So it really looks very simple for this demo itself, but I think it also makes a point that whenever you build any Word exports from Jaspersoft, you might remember that actually everything is a table there. So when the text is overflowing, maybe it's cut off in the middle. If I want to add a new line, this all of a sudden add a new cell somewhere in the middle of the big table structure, but you can see I've enabled here the formatting display. These are really just text, and I can change here. This is applying real styling on it. I can just change the styling if I like, say to a title. I'm allowed to change that, and the table is a real table. I can just take here a new line if I want to. I'm able to modify it if it was just done by me from scratch, just using Word itself. And what's in the background actually is, let me just open up, in the reporting engine, how it works. In the background, there is eventually a Word template. So actually I can define a Word template, which can be basically enriched by data. You can see here different texts. I can create here the template, what style I have to apply for the title. And if I write here project.id or project.name, it will be automatically taken from the old data feed and fill up basically the data and replace my text. The same applies to the tables. I don't have to provide all the different lines here. I can just write hashtag tasks, and then it will populate. And it's basically supporting very simple items, but also complex items. If I attach to this for another file, which describes the query itself, then it can also basically print out quite complex charts and tables directly into your doc file. So this is one of the add-ons for Word export to overcome this issue. The other one is basically the pixel perfect replicas. So we took with our innovation team, we offer this as a service because every single report can be completely different requirements. Of course, this is built upon the same engine as the Tricise docs. The status, I just put it status visualizer, but it's using the background Tricise visualizer engine, which is actually a JavaScript visualization engine. So any programmers can basically write any kind of code. It's not like the Jaspersoft was that everybody had to be trained. It's actually using, if you have any JavaScript developers in-house, for sure you will understand how to work with this module. Or we can also offer you the Jaspersoft development services, of course, at Tricise to help you out. But what we did is actually we just took as a basis our beloved storyboard as a project status report and created a replica. And how this replica works, basically it is taking the data same way from all data feed and basically placing those data where it needs to be. And of course, we also generate some charts where basically the visualization engine is trying to find where are the pictures in it, and is trying to replace those based on the description or based on the JavaScript code with the instruction given how to generate or what kind of pictures to generate in it. And you can see here it's handling very well the table, forms, and the current issues. And what's behind this is also very similarly a template, a PowerPoint template, where I can put here some pictures which will be replaced by the engine, and also, of course, here the placeholders. So this is how it really works in the background. All right, so these are about how to work with the specialized path. About Power BI, I have just closed it, but in Power BI, since the latest version, we are able to basically really easily create new reports because if you are just clicking on get data, you are able to connect directly to the old data feed. You can see here many different data is available here. You can have the CSV export if you like, but then you have to update the data manually. But if you search for all data, you are able to connect to the all data feed of Clarity. I might not click this through, but if you like, and if you have time in the end, I can come back and I can provide you the details. And after you connect it, you will have plenty of visualization available, standard, and you are able to build your report with Power BI really simply and easily. And the other one is, of course, the built-in visualization. What I have just opened here is the release notes. Broadcom is offering you even a simulation module and really click-by-click training materials for that. I believe most of the migration can be even done in-house for some of the reports, because Clarity provides very good, Broadcom provides very good training materials on that. Plus, they also provide a very good list of reports that is already there, sample reports. You can see here a lot of them are sample reports. And if you like, you can just, if I don't go here, but the report designer, you can just copy any of these and basically create by new, and you don't have to start from scratch. So I'm encouraging everyone to maybe use first the built-in report designer and with the sample data and recreate the new ones. Well, what we experienced doing a lot of migrations back with our customers is that ad hoc reports from Jaspersoft are relatively easy to move to the new reporting engine. Because what we have experienced that in the ad hoc reports, we are able to display the query behind. And when you have the query, the database query, you are able to just paste it in almost directly to the data provider. There is one or two syntax items to really change in that. And then after you created the data provider, building upon the data provider, the visualization with just few clicks away. So ad hoc reports are usually really simple to move and migrate. So I recommend that path for the ad hoc reports you have. You don't need to build new Power BI reports just because you build something in the ad hoc reports area. There's two tricky items when it comes to ad hoc reports or in general Jasper reports is the aggregation and the timescale values. So the queries behind an ad hoc report where you display multiple years or months, that we might have to take that out from the query and use basically the out of the box when it comes to a data provider, you are able to just use it as an attribute, and then you are able to basically display it much easier with the new reporting engine. So eventually the new reporting engine even simplifies some of your data queries to work with timescale values, but we have to remember when it's not just a copy paste in that particular case, but then we have to simplify eventually the query that comes from an ad hoc report. When it comes about working a lot with timescale values with the newest version, but we are really happy about to see that you're able to define calculated attributes that is not only adding and subtracting two numbers, but actually can work even with timescale values per period metrics as well. Right, so this is about the new reporting engine as well. Let me check if there is any questions so far. Some context like, is there a way to access the Clarity database or is the new reporting strictly limited to data warehouse? So on-premise, you are able with a 16.4.2, so the current version that is available from the 11th of May, we are able to connect to the transactional database. So we are not restricted to the data warehouse. So it's quite easy because we just have to copy over the query from the Jasper report directly into the new data provider and maybe connect some more tables. So that for SaaS, we expected it to come, but basically it didn't arrive this version. So we are having also direct conversations with the product management team. And actually the feedback was eventually the feature is also there in the SaaS, but because it was on the untested path, they could not promise that for every customer it will work. So they said they postponed that. So I expect that it is coming, that you are able to use transactional database, but as always Broadcom disclose, they cannot do any promise when is it coming to SaaS, when is it coming this feature, and on which release. We are crossing our fingers, it's coming soon that you are able to use transactional database also on Clarity SaaS. It's not there yet at this particular moment, unfortunately. So it means that if you have a query on transactional database, you have to convert it. But just to be really open here, if you use some AI tools, it is probably getting it right to translate to the data warehouse if you provide some examples or provide some documentation how the structure looks like in the transactional database versus the data warehouse. Some AI tools can actually translate your queries really with 90% success rate, I would say. Of course, there are some data like the process related queries that who commented what on which process action item or some conversation items. So of course, there are some items that are not available in data warehouse. For that, you might have to do some workarounds, but I'm not sure. It's always a problem that do we wait or do we solve something with the workaround? But if it's something urgent or if the importance of that report is a must-have by September, I suggest a workaround that you build a process that actually takes the data, because the process engine, the JavaScript, will always be able to query the current transactional database and move the data into a custom table, or not table, but custom object in that case. And then your data is available in in a form that you are able to retrieve it from the data warehouse itself as well. All right. Yeah, I think there was some. Yes, since version 16.4.2, you can connect the transaction database with a new reporting tool, but only for the on-premise versions. According to support feedback, this won't be possible for the SaaS version. Correct, exactly. So that's yeah, this is a good statement here in the question and answers. Thanks for reconfirming that. Yeah, but fingers crossed, because product management give us also actually some kind of hope and promise that it will be also done in the SaaS. But the timeline is a question in this case. All right, let's continue then. And actually, we also can offer you a plan B. So if none of these give you appetite to migrate and you want to wait, because actually development of the new reporting engine is really fast paced. So probably until the end of the year, for sure, Broadcom will do everything possible what they can to even surpass the possibilities what you had actually with the Jaspersoft before. But if you want to wait out, or you see the 65 working days impossible, of course, we are here to help you, to basically give you resources to do this migration. It's one of the goals, of course, of doing some awareness here, that we are here for you as Tricise, and my colleagues are really happy to help you. But if you decide, look, this is not for us, we cannot live with these dates, we are able basically to give you a plan B option, which actually we can offer you a 12-month or maybe even 2 years or 24-month period of time, hosting your Clarity environment on-premise together with Jaspersoft in place. And then we do the data, basically the Jaspersoft migration during this period of time, and then you can move back basically to the original place to operate further. So of course, here we have to assess exactly what is concerning you, what are the situations, but we just want to get some worries out of your shoulders and just give it to us, trust us, and we for sure find you a solution. So we're able to host your Clarity, migrate data, make sure that everything will be all right, and you get basically you buy time with this offering in this case. Right, and one more thing I would like to show you today is that what would be really the steps. So now what do I do? So I just checked what are the options really, where to go, and what we can do as next. You have heard the framework, how to decide which path to do, and you have now the 3 main pillars, how to decide what really to do with every single report and make the decision you want to move every report to one place or individually. Good thing is that we are able to basically channel into Clarity all 3 options. Of course, native Clarity reports, we have already the new module just for reports available, which is great. You are able to embed it to the project and new status reports. If you want to do Power BI, it was probably well known, but I can repeat it. With channels, you can embed actually any Power BI report or any other external reports very easily. And the Tricise visualizer is also a good example. You are able to embed it the same way. But what's next? So if you want to get some help, then of course we can do online assessment, either manually or doing it. But before I just show it to you how the assessment looks like, there is maybe one more question. Could you explain the topic with the timescale values in Clarity reporting again? Sure. So it was just to point that the new reporting engine is actually working with the timescale values in a much simpler way than Jaspersoft. So in Jaspersoft reports, if you had the financial data for years, or you had any monthly resource data or something like that, you always had to write in the query, please take this calendar to the calendar, attach or join some other tables that represents the slices for that month, and make some complicated queries. But with the new data providers and Clarity, as you probably also experience, so basically the planned cost or the time scale attributes, the per period metrics attributes are eventually are seeing this normal simple attributes. Let me just show it to you. I'm not showing you directly in the reporting engine, but maybe I can also show that one to you. So in the report designer, if you create a new report, let's say like this, then in the data provider, basically, the timescale values can also be used. You can see a planned cost. It's like just a simple attribute. So if you want, and you are able to, anyway, there is a period filter, and it's more natively integrated, the timescale values. You don't need to write really difficult queries just to manage that. And when it comes to about migrating Jaspersoft reports into the new reporting engine, those reports that contains a lot of these timescale value things, it might, we just have to simplify the queries before we land it into here. So it means that, of course, it's additional effort to look at what is the purpose of the query, but eventually at the end of the day, we even can simplify the query, and it's even easier maintainable to work with in the later stage, because it's simply just there, the attribute, and you are able to use it as well. Right, so that's what I wanted to show. And what's next is that what to do as next. You have here our website for just, this website is created as a subsite of tricise.com, which is clarity-reports.tricise.com. You have maybe there's an alternative URL also, Jaspersoft EOL, like end of life.tricise.com. Both points to the same page. You have here basically in the site what I have just explained to you in a similar way, or much concise summary way. There is some materials available, so feel free to review it. But I want to show you it's a free assessment. Free reporting assessment, you are able to assess every single report what you have, report by report, what to do with it. We have built into the website an AI help, or you can do it without AI if you want to describe it yourself. We take the data security quite seriously. So it means that everything what you upload here basically will be deleted by end of September, because this is when the campaign finish. So we are binding ourselves to this privacy policy. But if you want to upload any of your reports, let me show you the AI report, feel free. Let me just show you here an example. Here I have a project status report, and if you want, I can just open it. And I will show you, this is the usual status report. You're able to upload the PDF file or doc file, or even just the export, direct export from the Jaspersoft. It doesn't contain any data. It only contains the project's, the report structure. And after you do that, let me just do it quickly. Then basically it will analyze, the AI will analyze the report and fill up the migration parameters for you. And you can see here the story points, which represents each point and complexity points. And of course, it is directly related to the effort of the migration. So it is giving me immediately a feedback. How did AI understood the picture, but it sees, he or she, I don't know, it sees. It found out that it's actually kind of a status report. Looks like it's a PDF file. It's a common format for this report. So it is finding out, okay, what's the title. It is trying to guess it. Of course, if you upload a PDF file, it can only guess what can be the data source. But if you upload directly the Jaspersoft export, it will not guess. It will tell you, okay, this should be the transactional database. And it is recognizing content blocks like, okay, these data are coming from project. This is status report blocks, like report narratives. These are data coming from risks. These are data from tasks, and so on. So these are the data blocks, which are directly basically therefore drivers for default migration. If I only had 5 blocks, you can see the story points also change. So what AI helps me is to assess the complexity, fill up the migration parameters, but you can do this also without AI if you don't want to share any, for privacy policy, anything with any AI engine. And then Of course, visualizations. Most of the charts, most of the visualizations don't really change on the efforts because they are basically just either available or not available in new reporting engine. But for example, if I choose CrossStat, where we have a lot of aggregation, there might be some additional complexity working with those reports. And the same way, if we selected, hey, I must have Word export, they are also adding an offer per report. So it's not like, okay, you must buy like, okay, a big tool that you might, a big add-on for a yearly price of hundreds of thousands of euros. Definitely not. This is per report. We are offering you, this is a service running, if you like, the Word exporter. And the same way, if you must have a pixel perfect visualization, and Tricise visualization module can be also added to the offer. And besides that, what you can see on the screen, this is a beta. Just take it. We don't want to have a label of what the AI will say, but you are able to assess whether this report you uploaded, is it how much compatibility it has with the new reporting workspace. It is, of course, we have trained our AI with all the parameters what are possible in the new reporting engine, and basically it's comparing what is possible in the new reporting engine with the report itself, and then going bullet point by bullet points, what will be difficult to migrate and what is easy to migrate. For example, this status report is 4 out of 5, and it's giving me the advice that, okay, while the new workspace prioritized responsive design over pixel perfect layouts, therefore it could not get 5 out of 5. But maybe if it were just a data export Excel sheet, probably we say 5 out of 5 because, okay, we can dump data very easily with the new reporting engine. And it is giving you what is making it as a good candidate and also putting here some possible limitations. If it were, let's say, a Word export, let me just add here the previous Word export. Let me just find here the Word export before. Then potentially it should recognize it was a Word document. Yes, it has 2 content blocks, the task and the project block. Word export. If I run analytics, probably it will tell me something like, it's not as good because it has to be Word. So yes, it got 2 out of 5 from the score. It's quite confident, telling that because of the Word export itself. Look, we cannot generate Word from the new reporting engine, but if you can get over of this item, without that, possibly it will be much easier to export this report. And after this, you add this report to your portfolio, you can review it, and we don't want to reveal, the prices. But if you want to reveal pricing, it's not an issue. You just provide some contact data, and you receive in an email basically the offer based on what you uploaded and what this analytics was telling you. You can see here that the XL, SL, ML, so the T-shirt size basically. You are able to get the offer, and if you decide that you want to migrate items, fine. If you want, we can have a call with our experts who can take also with the human intelligence also a look at the reports and give you advices in a free, binding conversations with our experts. We are happy to help you and assist you, even if you don't engage with us, to see. And you can even if you already work with another services provider, you are even able to compare prices and maybe use it for negotiation, up to you. Basically, without any bindings, we are able to provide you offers or indicative pricing, indicative assessment, and we are happy to do so for you. And actually, that leads to my last slide. So basically, I have a thank you slide after this. These are the tiers, so we can consider here report by report. If you have a small report to, let's say, data export, that usually is the tier XS, so the T-shirt size XS, so it's very small items. If you have like an ad hoc report, that usually is the S size of report. What we have seen is between simpler items like 2 or 3 content blocks usually are the M size. Status reports with more, like 6 data blocks are usually L size reports. And of course, there are also above that items also possibilities to work with. And as a bonus, of course, if you engage with us, then we also provide you an instructor-led training to use the new reporting engine, inclusive, no additional cost. Plus, if you decide to renew your Clarity licenses or you engage us in a managed services contract, then basically we take all the cost on us of migrating your Jaspersoft report, so you can consider that as well. So these are also just additional bonus that we are able to offer you as Tricise if you want to engage us for longer term, if you like our services, of course. So this is what I wanted to show you today. Let's take the September off your to-do list for now. Here is the link, and just feel free to reach me out directly if you have any questions, or myself or my team will then engage with you and answering all your questions for now. So thank you very much for your attention. I'm just checking quickly if there is any new questions. I hope I could answer. Could you explain topic, time scale? The last one was the time scale value. Okay, so thank you very much for your interesting questions and for your attention, and hope to hear from you soon. Thank you very much.